New York Knicks basketball is back. Welcome everyone to the show. I'm joined by the one and only Bill PIDTO. Bill, you excited for a new season?
Yeah, great to see everybody. I hope everybody had a great offseason. We had our Knicks' first preseason game last night, first of four. They got Boston last night, won that. Then they have Minnesota Friday. They got Boston at Boston next Tuesday, home against Washington Wednesday, and then the season opener against Boston on October 25th. So it is that time of year. It's exciting. I think it's going to be an exciting year. Great building block season last season, and hopefully they can build upon that.
Yeah, most definitely. And I hope you had a great off season, Bill. Did you rest? Did you do anything special?
Lost a lot of golf balls.
Yeah, that's a good way to spend the time.
Yeah,
Um, Yeah, but yeah, you mentioned the preseason. The Knicks pull off their first win. I don't think they expected the back-to-back with the Celtics to rest everybody. The Knicks will have a back-to-back themselves later in the preseason. But what were your key takeaways from anything from last night's game?
I don't know. I think it's tough to look into anything. The one thing that did stand out to me is that Julius Randle looks 100%, and I think that's really important.
Yeah,
Off the ankle surgery, he's in phenomenal shape. He's moving extremely well, and does not look like any ill effects at all. So that is obviously one of the big storylines coming in. How healthy would he be? Dante DiVincenzo, their one significant offseason acquisition, was better in the second half than he was in the first half. Josh Hart didn't play, so you don't get a real feel for how the rotation is going to work. Obviously, there's just time to work that out. But so the two things for me: Randle looks good, and DiVincenzo played well in the second half.
yeah, most definitely. You mentioned building on last season's success, Bill. What is the keys to another successful season for this New York Knicks team? We'll talk about the East in a minute. There's been a lot of changes around the East, but staying in home, New York Knicks, what are the keys to backing up last year's success?
I think most importantly is health. When you look at this team, Randall obviously got hurt down the stretch in the playoffs, but they've been able to avoid a major injury here for quite some time, and that is absolutely critical.
Mm.
They have tremendous depth. I think the roster stability, unlike some of these other teams, is going to be in their favor. It's the same core group. Another full season with Brunson. They should be really comfortable with one another. RJ and Julius Randle hopefully will be more efficient. I think each of these guys will be honest about that. I think they could be top 3 or 4 in the East. Myself, I really do. I think the way they play. The one thing you have to understand, especially in the regular season with the Tibbs coach team, is they play hard every single night, and that
Mm.
is not necessarily the case. Obviously, there's new load management rules, but one of the things the Knicks benefit from is their effort every single night. So I think this has a potential to be a really, really good season if they stay healthy, and that's the if I think for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll talk about their depth in a minute. But yeah, absolutely. I like that prediction. In terms of anything that they can improve upon, there's the youth on the team and the growth, the experience from the playoffs. Um, how do you see the young core? Tom Thibodeau preached a lot about internal improvement. Bringing back the same core. What are some areas that the Knicks can improve upon?
Number one for me is 3-point shooting. Last year, they're 24th in the league in 3-point percentage, yet tied for third in points per possession. So that goes to show how well they were on the boards and how many
Mm.
points they were able to get from the free throw line. I didn't see the final three number last night, but in the first half, they were 5 for 21. So that's got to get better. That really hurt them in the playoffs. Hopefully, DiVincenzo can help them from deep. The problem is they don't have a pure shooter, and the one pure shooter they have, Evan Fournier, is obviously not likely to be in the rotation, and unfortunately doesn't do some of the things that the coach needs done. So I think the 3-point shooting is something that would really need to improve.
Yeah, we can expect the same defense, but yeah, 3-point shooting, that's the way the league is going. Emanuel Quickley is eligible for an extension. Bill was a key part of the success, runner up in the six man of the year. Emanuel Quickley's situation with this team and his future, how important is he to this team, do you feel?
Well, I think it's really important. It's going to be interesting to see if they resolve this. They have to do it before opening night, or he cannot be signed during the season, and then would become a restricted free agent next offseason, which means the Knicks would have the opportunity to match any deal, any contract that he might sign elsewhere. If I'm Quickly, I would be wondering about what happened to me in the playoffs, because before he got hurt, he just seemed to just get shut down. I don't know if that's hurt his negotiating leverage or not, but
Mm.
obviously key cog with the Knicks, and hopefully they can get something done.
Yep, definitely. In terms of a potential breakout player and an X factor on this team, is there anyone that comes to mind?
Well, I think they're really hoping that DiVincenzo can be an important part of the rotation. No Obi, obviously. We know the coach will play 9 guys, so that ninth guy now would be DiVincenzo. You'd have a bench of DiVincenzo, Hart, Hartenstein, and Quickly, assuming that Grimes is still the starter. So that's going to most likely be your 9-man rotation. And Hart would likely, at this point, going to be the backup power forward, and he can, like a Swiss Army knife, he can do everything for you. So with DiVincenzo off the bench, I think the hope is that he can add an element that they did not have.
Yeah, definitely. He brings that experience, the shooting as well. We saw some Jericho Sims get some minutes at the 4. He was praised by Tibbs during camp. Do you think Jericho Sims is a nice fit for backup 4 minutes? Do you think it's going to be Josh Hart and there'll be a 9-man rotation to start?
I think the coach likes 9. He did mention he'd go with Sims sometimes, depending on the opponent. I would say Sims right now is the 10th man, and that means
Mm.
barring some type of injury, McBride and Fournier are likely not going to get significant playing time. Sims, I don't think is going to play a lot, but if there is the need for a 10th man, I think it'll be Sims.
Yep. Mitchell Robinson, the big man tandem, Bill, I think gives the Knicks an edge over a lot of teams in terms of when Hart comes in. Mitch looked like he had a great preseason, a great off season. Was moving well last night. How do you see the Knicks big man department and the advantage they can have protecting the rim?
Tremendous 1-2 punch. Last year, they basically split the position.
Mm.
Last night, I was at the game. It looks like to me that Robinson put on some bulk, more
Yep.
muscular up top. Um, Mike Breen on the broadcast said that he might be the most important Nick uh, in terms of what he does under the radar and how important it is to the Knicks on the boards and on defense. So, yeah, that center position, Hartenstein, after kind of a shaky start last year, really emerged. It's a heck of a 1-2 punch, and it also gives you some pad in case one of these guys gets in foul trouble. And hopefully, Mitchell Robinson can avoid the injury bug, which has kind of bit him here
Yep.
periodically over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and what do you think about the free throws? RJ Barrett shot 9 of 9. If Mitchell Robinson, talk is he's been working on the free throws, that's going to help this team out a lot.
Totally. And RJ gets to the line a lot. He's really improved his free throw shooting. And Mitch, obviously, the way he is banging inside, gets fouled a lot. If he can come through on the line, obviously, that's going to do nothing but help the team. That's for sure.
Yep. In terms of how the Knicks stack up against the East, you mentioned just earlier where you see their potential, but just any comments on the new loaded East, Milwaukee with Damian Lillard now, Boston sees the opportunity to get Drew Holiday.
Yeah, they're going to be tough. What's interesting to me about the Bucks is that they're going with an untested coach in Adrian Griffin. You have a championship-ready team. You've just acquired Dame Lillard, and you're going with an untested coach. So I think that's something to watch. Boston, we saw last night, not indicative of who they're going to play because all their top guys rested because they played the night before against Philadelphia. But after the top 6, you got Pritchard, you have Hauser, you have Luke Cornett. I wonder if that's going to be good enough for them off the bench. Obviously, you got their top 6, which might be among the top 6 in the whole league. But after that, are they deep enough? Philadelphia's got the drama with James Harden. Miami lost Max Strus and Gabe Vincent. They did top Tibbs last night pregame was talking about the acquisition of Jason Richardson for Miami. I don't think people have talked about that. Return to
Yeah.
health of Tyler Hero. But
Yep.
Cleveland has, I mentioned they got, I mentioned Miami lost Strus. Cleveland got Strus and Niang from Philly. But I think the Knicks are right there. I think if it breaks right, they could be top 3 or 4. I really believe that.
Yeah, so that's about 47 wins again. 40. I predict 48, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think you think around the same.
Yeah. I mean, and if things go really well, maybe you get low 50s.
Yeah, yeah, continuity is big. There's a couple back to backs early, 8 back to backs in the first 2 months. This new play-in tournament. What are your thoughts about that and the Knicks schedule?
The play-in tournament is going to be very, very interesting to try to figure out because it's going to be the first, I guess, the Tuesdays and Fridays.
Hmm.
What's not clear to me is if there's an unscheduled portion in December, depending on how this play-in tournament works, and it's very unclear to me as to who the Knicks will play if they do not advance in the play-in tournament. I don't. It's not clear to me.
Hmm.
They're in that group that they're in, but if they don't advance, you have to be either the winner of your group or the best second place team to advance after the
Yeah.
early round play, the first round play. If they don't advance, I don't know. It's unclear to me. On December 6th and December 8th, if they don't advance, there are open dates on the schedule as to who they're going to play. I'm not clear on how that's going to work. And I
Hmm.
don't know what kind of traction this is going to have. It's going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah, it's very early. It's something unprecedented, and we'll wait to see. But I think everyone's excited to get over to Vegas, and yeah, if it's another thing that the Knicks can win, their regular season games. So as you said, Tom Thibodeau is going to push. Um, but yeah, the East is definitely looking very different. In terms of playoff experience, do you think the Knicks will take a lot from defeating the Cavs and then almost, matching it with the Heat in 7 games?
Yeah, I think you could. You have a young team. I mean, people forget Randle is like the senior citizen. He's 28 years old. This is a
Yeah,
young group. They haven't been battle tested last year, and they gave the Heat a tough go. So it can only
yeah.
help. And Brunson last night. I know he only played 6 minutes, but first half, guy comes out, gets 10 points. I mean, he's just
5 minutes.
yeah, he's unbelievable. He is so efficient, and they just can't stop him. Just can't stop him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he coming off fever, Bill, so he did look very sharp.
Right.
Um, Unfortunately, missed out on the medal, but the competition, the competitiveness is there, and another Villanova buddy as well. Also, Ryan Archidiakono. It's
Right.
a it's a quartet now.
Right. It's Villanova North, a little bit north of Philadelphia. Yeah.
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 Uh, yeah, in terms of MSG, the team's coming back again. You excited? Is the guys talking, blowing up the group chat?
Yeah. It's like the first day of school last night. Everybody's back. Saying hello. We have a
Yeah,
new direct to consumer initiative called MSG Plus. You don't need cable to watch the Knicks now. You can go direct on the app. It's about $10 per game, or close to $30 a month. And with the monthly subscription, you get access, if you're a hockey guy, to the Rangers, Devils, Islanders, and the Knicks. So for those of you out there that may be interested in that, that's something to check out.
yeah, most definitely. Clyde Breen, as well as the in studio team back. We're hearing talks that there might be an addition to the road team as well if Clyde doesn't travel. But yeah, we'll wait to hear about that.
Yeah, I don't know any specifics on that. I know the rumors like everybody else, but I haven't heard or seen anything official.
Yep. But yeah, it's been great talking, Bill, and look forward to another big season ahead. And keep doing your thing.
All right, great to see you. Great to
Yeah,
see everybody, and we'll talk during the season.